Well, AutoNation earnings were released today, and CEO Mike Jackson says the industry's turnaround is at hand. Suzanne O'Halloran spoke with him earlier today. Suzanne, he's always seemingly optimistic. Is he too much so?
He is. He's definitely an optimistic guy, but I'm going to say he's cautiously optimistic. AutoNation's fourth quarter car sales jumped about 14%, Margaret, and the dealers saw the biggest jump in U.S. autos, especially Ford, whose sales increased 44%. GM and Chrysler also saw double-digit gains, but Jackson said certain consumers are having an easier time getting a loan, but not everybody.
For prime and near prime, it's normalized, but the down payments are higher. And we have a significant bow wave of customers who have told us they're saving for the down payments and will be back in anywhere from 3 to 6 months. And that's how they behaved. The last segments that need to fully heal are subprime and leasing. I expect that will happen this year.
And so, Margaret, you have to have a very good credit score. You've got to be 700 plus or so to get that prime lending or be in that category. The rest of lending still needs to come back. He also said that he hasn't hired workers really in about 2 years, but that's changing as well. He plans to add workers this year. He declined to be specific, but he says they're going to have about 20,000 associates by the end of this year. Right now, they have a little over 19,000, so that's very encouraging. And also, he just took a position advising the Fed. He sits on the board of directors of a regional branch of the Fed in Atlanta, so he'll be following the economy very closely, obviously, and he does talk to policymakers on a regular basis. Margaret?
Is he asking them for anything to help speed up the auto industry recovery?
Yeah, you know, he's really worried about a couple of things. First of all, jobs. He's not necessarily asking policymakers for anything, but he is advising them to do what they can to add jobs because, as we just heard him say, consumers can't get a loan, or not every consumer can get a loan. And if you don't have a job, you're not going to get that auto loan. So he is advising the Fed in terms of what policymakers can do to create more jobs. He says that's very critical for the auto industry to continue to turn around. So he's not as optimistic as he comes across all the time because of the state of unemployment. He'll be listening very closely to what Chairman Bernanke says today. And he's also, Margaret, very worried about volatile oil prices. He says that could potentially derail the recovery in the auto industry as well. As we know, oil is well over $90 a barrel. Prices at the pump, according to AAA, are over $3. And he said when consumers, from a psychological standpoint, see that prices are in the $3 range or above, or there are big swings either way, it just makes them reluctant to buy that vehicle. And that's what he's worried about as well. So jobs and the uncertainty in the oil market are big potential wild cards for the auto industry. Margaret?
All right. Thank you very much, Suzanne.